Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Key Ingredient Podcast. Today I'm joined by the newly crowned WBFF Miss Wellness World 2025, Amanda Ferreira. Amanda, great to see you today.
I just thought I should have brought my crown and my
You know,
sash.
I didn't even think of that. That would have been really great
That
to
would
do.
have been like an impactful. Like, I'll send you a picture to put like on.
We
or
will-
we can we
we'll
do?
do
Can
that.
we add like a Photoshop like big?
We
crown?
can probably figure that out for you. I'm glad but too bad we didn't know about that a little while
I
ago.
know. I
but-
should have. I just thought about it.
Well, thanks for being here, Amanda. It's great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I've known you for a while. Obviously, you're not only an athlete, you're a certified fitness coach, you're an entrepreneur. You do a lot of things. And I really want to kind of highlight your life here and what you do, because I know you help a lot of people with what you do. But if you don't mind, maybe we'll start out. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Not at all. So I'm Brazilian. So I've been here in the U.S. for about 10 years now, and fitness has been my passion ever since. I come from a background of dancing, so like I was used to the stage like growing up, and when I started getting into fitness, I thought like, what if I could join the stage that I miss in fitness? And that's how bodybuilding became a thing in my life 11 years ago, which is what brought me to US. I started competing here in America. Precisely Miami was my first international show.
Okay.
So like a really big full circle. And just sport has always been a big part of my life. And through fitness, through my own personal journey of ups and downs, as women, we bring a lot of emotions to our body. Men too, but different extents and like different impacts.
Sure.
And I've noticed that my physical body has a lot to do with my emotions and my state of life and where I'm at personally, mentally, spiritually even. So I incorporate a lot of that in my practice and with my clients. And I think that's what's been standing out a little bit amongst other trainers, because I started as just a personal trainer, but I think, through the grace of God, I've been able to have the vision of like the complete female body and everything that affects us, and put that into not only my personal life, because I'm graduated back in Brazil, but I didn't really want to work with that. I want to, because I had the mindset in Brazil, like I want to make money fast. And back then, fitness wasn't like this prestige career that it is right now.
Sure.
So for a long time, I thought like, I really don't think I want to work with fitness. I just did it for myself. And of course, friends and family, I used to help them. But then I keep getting that pull like back in, like you need to get back into fitness. And then 2019, I decided like quit everything else that I was doing that wasn't related to fitness, dedicate to that full time. And it's been like my mission. And I love working out, because my thought process was like, where am I the happiest in my life? And it was always the gym. Like that's the one thing I do for free. I don't need to get paid to do it. I'm always at the gym. I always like, yesterday I was at the gym for 3 hours. I'm like, this is so fun. I wish every day could be like that.
Yeah, I understand that fully.
I
Sure.
know, it's the best. And I think that's a big part of my personality, is just how can I use this gift that God gave me to help other women feel what I feel when I look in the mirror. Like not because I was born this way, because I work really hard to present myself in a way that I'm proud of and that I like. And it does so like tremendous things for the women's confidence, and that has a ripple effect in all areas of her life, her personal relationships, her career, the way she treats her kids, the way she treats herself, friends and other women too. It's like you start contaminating other people with that power and self-confidence and just genuine kindness of wanting to see other women be happy with themselves.
Yeah, self-esteem, isn't it? Really, that's what it comes down to, and that confidence comes through. I get that. How old were you when you actually started working out, lifting weights?
First time I was at the gym, I was 13 years old.
Okay.
Yes. In Brazil, it's a very different culture, right? I know here in America, people, they play sports a lot, but in Brazil, it's the gym. I mean, we do have sports, which is basically soccer, but I was in the gym at 13 doing all the classes and doing dance classes and all of that. I lifted some weights, but dance was my focus back then. I started really lifting weights and dedicating to that at 21.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because I did an exchange program here in America at 21, and I gained like almost, if not, I don't remember the numbers, but like around 40 pounds in 7 months.
Wow.
So for the first time in my life, I got back to Brazil, and I was obese, and I had pre-diabetes. I had like insulin resistance. Like I was always so healthy until that, and that completely transformed my life into seeking more like healthy eating and training and here I am today.
I think that's really important you said that, because when people look, I mean, obviously you're in very, very great physical condition, but when people look at you, they assume you were always that way, right?
Yeah.
And in order to help people, it's nice when they can see that you weren't always that way. And a lot of times we let ourselves go. I mean, everybody goes through that within their life, but I think that's very interesting, actually.
Yeah, and I think also one of the things that makes me stand out a little bit from other trainers is because I'm really open about my struggles, and I still have them. I recovered from binge eating disorder, I want to say probably about 4 to 5 years ago. I don't think it's you ever recover. You always have to keep it watched, because it is an addiction to food that develops all these patterns of like binging and like starving yourself. That is not healthy for the mind, not even for the body. But and every time that I go on my weight, I talk freely on Instagram, because I saw even after moving here to Miami, the huge impact that it has on my clients, that they see me and they think that because I look a certain way, I don't have self-confidence struggles. I do.
Sure.
I've been evolving a lot, and it's an ongoing journey to the point that I can see my imperfections and see the things in my body that I quite don't like, and just be okay with them. That doesn't mean I don't have the same thoughts. Like I'm the same like any other woman. Sometimes I have to put on 5 outfits before I find the one that actually I can tolerate.
Right.
So it's not really about how you look. It's about how you look at yourself that gives that peace of mind and that self-confidence and that self-love even towards your body, that makes you like appreciate and have the actions that actually nurture your body, not punish it.
Yeah. No, well said. Thank you. So, first of all, congratulations on the Miss Wellness World. That's really exciting. Maybe for those of us who don't know a lot about it, tell us a little bit about it. What does it involve? How many contestants are there?
Yeah. So the WBFF is an organization that's been around for many, many years. It's called It stands for World Beauty, Fitness, and Fashion. And the whole setup between it is get away from traditional bodybuilding, bring fashion and fitness together, and beauty also, because... And I come from a traditional bodybuilding world, so ladies, forgive me when I say that. I mean, no harm. It's just a personal preference issue. But bodybuilding mostly sees from the neck down.
Right.
It's a body. It's two completely different things. Not one is better than the other, but it's just very different approaches to it. So bodybuilding sees from the neck down, and it's very technical. Symmetry, how the bodies are aligned, like left and right side, and proportions between limbs. The WBFF, we're not so much about that. It's about your whole aspect on stage, like how you represent a female that's fit and healthy and beautiful, and she enjoys her body, and she pushes that on stage. And we have something that calls, it's like the light you shine on stage that makes women look at you on stage and see like, I would love to look like her, not from an envy or jealous standpoint, or like from a point of like I hate myself, no, but like, this is beautiful. Like if she can do that, maybe I can do too, because there's not like a certain pattern that you have to follow. Is whoever gets on stage on that lineup and owns herself the most. Of course, you need to have a certain like amount of muscle mass according to the category. There are the divisions, and you need most of the categories. You need to be lean to a certain state, because it is still also we're trying to pertain a fit and healthy body. But it's about that. It's about the whole package of how you do, so much so that we have a gown entrance. Like it's not just about the physique; it's about like how you carry yourself in a gown, like a super elegant way. And so that has been. I've been competing with them for 11 years.
Wow. Okay.
11 years, yes. And my goal is to become a world champion. So it took me that much time to do it, and I'm so happy because now I might retire. Not sure yet.
I was going to ask you that. You have to kind of do it again, don't you, to try to see if you can do it one more time now?
We'll see. I'm turning 40 this year, and I thought like it starts being too much on the body to the level that I take it, But we'll see. I think I can do it again. But oh my gosh, I'm changing my mind already.
We'll convince you by the end of this. So I'm going to ask you a question. You mentioned the toll on your body, right?
Yeah.
What's the preparation like? I mean, that has to be extremely, extremely difficult.
It is. But it's also like learning about your body. And because I've been doing that for so many years, I know my body so much now that I can do it in a way that is not as hard. Still doesn't mean there is not a toll, because you do take, like any sport, you take your body to the limit. And people that ask me, is that healthy? I'm like, absolutely not. It's not. Right. It's an elite sport. Like I am taking my body to the extreme. It's not healthy, especially the last 2 weeks where Depending on what category, like you do some mild dehydration, of course you get to a body fat level that is not super sustainable or healthy for women, especially long hours of training, calorie restriction. If done momentarily, it's not going to affect my health long term. But no, you start seeing like, oh, my skin start like losing its collagen now that I'm turning. When I was 30, that wasn't an issue, but now like, oh, I don't know if this is okay for me. Like I'm gonna have to pimp out my Botox. So it's more things like that. It's not extreme. Like if you see at my pictures, it's still like super healthy look. Like I've stepped on stage where I look like a skull before. So like a severe dehydration, which is so dangerous, by the way. You should not be doing that. Several like athletes, they have severe like health issues because of that, even deadly ones. So that's dangerous. I do not like that. But the way I do it is I just stop drinking water for maybe that day,
right?
Which makes your body naturally like deplete water. That's the biggest toll on it. And of course, like time wise, it's very consuming. The only reason I'm able to do this competition during summertime here in Miami is because most of my clients are away. So I have time to just be at the gym for 3 hours rather than on high season, be at the gym like 1 hour, 3 times a week. So it's that those are the hardest things to do, like the time depletion. Also, another big challenge is the brain power, because when you're in a super calorie deficit and you're restricted like that, it takes a toll on your brain because your brain like demands so much energy.
Sure.
And it's not like you're in a fasted state, because when you're in a fasted state, you run on ketones, and that's great for the brain. It's one of the brain's favorite energy methods. But when you're eating so little and you're demanding so much from your body, you do get severe fatigue, to the point that I've had to like reach out to several business partners, say like, can we put a hold on this project? Like, wow. As much as like even recording like a promotional reel or something for social media, I'm like, I don't have the brain power to do that, because I've coached myself and I have a team of athletes that I took to the same competition. So my focus was on them. Like this, if I have some energy left, it's going to be for them. And of course, on my daily tasks, I have a dog, I have cats. So taking care of my life, not letting the world fall apart. But several things, you kind of need to put a pause on it and ask my other clients, like, can you just give me a break for like 1 or 2 weeks, if not super emergent? Like, yeah, I'll be back. Just trust me. As soon as I have carbs back, I'll be back to you.
Go through that depletion of carbs.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I think that was an important thing you said, especially that preparation, the part that it's not really healthy that last week or two. I think a lot of us get used to scrolling through social media and we see all these models and how great they look.
Yeah.
And we don't always realize that there was some prep involved, right? Not that they didn't look great before then, but there was some additional prep before then that, kind of helped a little bit as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned coaching, so let's discuss coaching. So is it safe to say you work exclusively with women, correct?
No.
You don't? Okay.
I train men too.
Okay.
Mostly women though, but yeah.
Okay.
I do have some guys.
So tell me a little bit about kind of what your coaching style is and how that works.
Like I was saying at first, like I have this like full-on approach to coaching, my coaching method, because I understand that how much your life affects your body and vice versa too. Like, so I almost approach the women. So we can talk about women because that's the vast majority of people that I do. Like how you treating your body has the ripple effect on all the other areas of your life. And so I talked to them. Actually, I was on dinner yesterday with a client. This is my oldest client back from 2019. She's in Orlando. She came for here from Miami for a few days. So we hang out together. I had a nice dinner with her family. And we were talking about that, like how I helped her recover also from a binge eating disorder. And she said, like, she helped me understand myself and my relationship with food. Because it's not about how many reps you do. It's not about how many sets. I have all that technical knowledge about how many sets you need to do for hypertrophy, zone 2, zone whatever, for cardio, calorie deficit, all those things, they are important. You need to know that. But if you can't assess how some women first view their bodies, what's their relationship with food, what's their relationship with their spouse, like sometimes that's also a huge area of like them neglecting themselves or some traumas or some triggers that they have from the past. You can't never make them fit. You might be able to do it temporarily, but they're going to go back to their old patterns. Like that thing with binge eating disorder that I went through, I healed myself so many times until I actually went to the root cause of it and understood, like, this is why I'm going to food for comfort. And I keep on this loop of like eating and starving. And that's the same thing I do with women. Some women are so resistant to gyms, and I need to like start talking to them and getting to know them and gain their trust in order for, because sometimes they don't even know what happened.
Sure.
But they have something that happened. They're 14. They went to the school gym and they were bullied, and so like they hate the gym now. And to show them like it's a safe space. Nobody's looking at you.
Right.
Nobody cares.
It's just you.
It's just you
Yeah.
and you. So it's like I do this full approach that I think it really like it's effective, and it teaches them. I'm not just telling them what to do. I'm teaching them how to look at nutritional labels, how to, when you go out to a restaurant, understand which food is the best one for you to order, understanding them that it's okay to indulge and it's okay to like maybe gain a couple of pounds for a fun weekend with your family, with your spouse. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Who said you need to be perfect all the time?
Right.
What if you gain 5 pounds and you spend a week in Bahamas? I want you to gain weight because that means you had fun.
Sure.
Come back, we'll take care of it. Like, it's not a big deal. So it's like a lot of it is understanding that the meaning behind being fit. And like I said, what helps me a lot is because I'm very transparent on my social media. Like for me now, I'm sitting on around like 8 to 10 pounds above my stage weight. I would love to look like I look on stage all the time. I would love to.
Not easy to do, is it?
It's not, but I'm figuring out a formula how to get closer to it and maintain. But it's not sustainable. It's not my body type. I have to change a lot of things, and maybe now I will. Excuse me, because now I don't have any competitions inside, to be able to sit at a lower weight just because it's my personal preference. You know, I love seeing veins on my forearms and I love seeing my ab lines.
Sure.
But I need to understand. I need to show them it's okay. Like, I don't need to be walking around with a 6-pack all the time, because also that's not my body type. I'm naturally like voluptuous. So it's why would I keep fighting and looking at my flaws rather than looking at the beautiful things that God gave me, like, which is muscles and curves and other things.
Just go with it, right?
Yeah.
Body type's important that you mentioned that. I think, we all have to kind of figure out what our body type is. One thing I've noticed, and you tell me what you think for myself at least, is that our bodies are all different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, some people do well by eating a lot of carbs. Some people do well not eating a lot of carbs. Some people work out differently. I mean, everybody's body. So like when we see somebody that we admire, it doesn't mean if we copy exactly what they do, that we're going to look exactly like them. Is that correct?
Oh, that's 100% correct. I would say it's not always, it's most likely never you're going to get the same results, because so many things affect like how your body's going to react to a certain type of, like a protocol. Let's put a protocol, because it's not just training or diet, it's supplements, sleep, stress levels, your age, like your metabolism, all those things affect. So if I had a twin sister and we did the same things, we might have similar results, but not necessarily true. It depends so much. And also, that's also a big part of the coaching that I do, is getting on my toolbox. And when I'm talking to a client, understanding like, okay, this is probably what you need. Let's assess it. Let's try, see how you feel, and go from there. And teaching them that, and also providing them those tools that when they go on their selves. And I tell them, like, I don't want to coach you for the rest of my life. Like, I want to teach you. And then you go on, little brother. You understand how to be fit. Of course, if you want to take it to a next level, I can always support you. But everybody should know some sort of level, like basic levels of nutrition. But back to your question, yes, there's tons of like nutritional guidelines, training guidelines, sleep patterns, supplementation, like, and all those things. And that's why I think a lot of people get it wrong. They try to find the perfect diet or the perfect training program or the perfect supplement. Like, there is no such thing, because we all have different needs. We all have different moments in our lives. Like, what worked for me 6 months ago might not be the same that works for now. So what was perfect for me then is not what's perfect for me now. Right. I'm in a different stage of my life. And even if everything remains the same, we're always getting older. That doesn't change. And just the fact that we're all getting older, I don't care if you're 20 or 40 or 60, we're all getting older. Your body is naturally changing. So you need to keep constant like adapting to those little changes you see in your body. And if you're wise enough, that's what I try to do with myself and my clients, is be one step ahead. Like, I'm trying to prevent now situations and challenges that I will probably face at 60. So I'm trying to like, I'm not trying to put a Band-Aid on a cut. I'm trying to like, I don't want to have a cut.
Right.
So that's the way to do it, and just to put yourself one step ahead and understand like what works for you at this season of your life to get the result you want. Maybe not now, but like 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now. Always keep thinking ahead because of our health. You know, it's so important that We learn how to age gracefully with health, but also like looking good and looking in the mirror like, oh,
There's nothing wrong with trying to look as good
absolutely
as you can, right?
nothing wrong.
I agree.
Nothing wrong. I think once I moved from Brazil here, I started, and I mean, Miami is not really America, but I lived outside of Miami, so I've had contact. People have, women, not people, women have a hard time accepting, and I think it's changing. Thank God it's changing, but I've always had, they had a hard time accepting that you want to work out to look good. It's almost like they're like, oh, I don't want to be vain. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with wanting to look good?
I agree.
No, ladies, yes, work out to look good for you, not for others, not for anybody else, but for you. You need to understand, like, look in the mirror and seeing what you love.
Yeah.
Oh, that is the best feeling ever.
Again, it goes back to confidence and self-esteem. I mean,
Yeah.
it all goes back. You work with a lot of corporate executives and entrepreneurs as well, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, are you finding more and more people are trying to excel in the boardroom with their family life and also with their fitness? Are you seeing that pick up quite a bit? Or?
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually like revamping my whole coaching program because I found myself coaching like 5 to 10 like super powerhouse. Can badass? Can you say that?
We could say that.
Yeah,
Sure.
badass women who are like running businesses, doing events. Like some of them are breadwinners at their households. You know, and I'm talking like big breadwinners, like not like
Yes.
barely making by. And I see that as a change. Thank God people are starting to see that they can only go so far neglecting their health. So some of my clients that I can think at the top of my mind now, we've been able to like reverse track that and make them healthy again to the point that they're happy, you know, they're dressing better. And like you said, it does have such like a big impact on their businesses, on their relationship with their spouses, relationship with their kids, relationship with other women, because they see a leader in their industry doing that and running the business and running a family and doing homeschooling and like making big money, and they're still working out. Like, what is my excuse? So yeah, it has been a shift, which is great. Like it's been beautiful to see. And also to another point that portrays to that, I've always seen maybe 10 years ago, women who are in powerful positions, they almost started to get manly, you know, dress more like a man, like leave their feminine like part aside. And I've always thought, like, 'cause, you know, I come from corporate in Brazil, used to work for the government, and I had these women around me who were bosses, but they're like, they had to put themselves in manly positions to be able to be respected. And now I see a shift on that because women are working out, they're feeling sexy, they're dressing sexy, of course, respectfully, but sexy.
Right.
In a way that like, this is beautiful to see all these women like powerful in the lane. We're not trying to be like men. No, men are men, women are women, but like you can be strong and beautiful and feminine and powerful and successful and be super healthy, have a body that you love and you cherish and you nurture, and still run your business, still have an amazing spouse that loves you and adores you, and still raise your family. So definitely it's a trend.
Yeah, I could see that. There was a book that was written a number of years ago. I think it was called The Corporate Athlete. I don't know if you're familiar with that book, but
I've heard it, but I
it's
didn't
kind of
read
the
it.
same idea.
Uh-huh.
So for me, when I look back when I was a child and when I started working, a lot of people, and I'll say the men back then that I was looking at were the successful guys were working crazy hours. Yeah. They were all out of shape. Their diets were horrific, right? It was very different. It was
Probably
a very
smoking.
Smoking, good point. Smoking,
Yeah.
drinking, right? It was a different mindset. It was a grind type of thing, and they looked overworked, right? Now my perception is that that's changed quite a bit. So now when you look at the successful people, as we're saying, they're managing their lives perfectly, right? I mean, as good as they can as far as balance, not only the family life, but they look good, right? They have low body fat. They have some muscle. They just look different. And that's one thing I've noticed quite a bit. I mean, there's definitely the corporate athlete is a perfect title for the book because I think that is really the trend from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and it is people also like this that saying like the way you do one thing is the way you do all things, right? So someone who's successful and has that barrier is not quite there yet with their health. All you need to do is tell them like, okay, how do you run your business? I'm sure they're disciplined. I'm sure they're committed. I'm sure they plan ahead. I'm like, okay, you just need to do that with your health.
Yeah.
And once they understand that relationship, like, oh, yes, it's simple. Because it's the same. I actually run, like, I use a lot of parallels between business and your body, because it is an investment. It is a long-term investment, and you need to plan, and you need to allocate hours, and you need to like do some little investments with supplements and the right food and all of those things. Once they realize that, it's like, oh, and then their business just skyrockets because they feel better, they think better, they have more clear like thoughts. And I mean, all it takes is you to go to our gym in the morning and see like how many people are there,
no
like
doubt
taking
about
care of
it.
themselves, and you know they're there for a reason. And they can afford a gym like that for a reason because
they all look great, by the
Yeah.
way. So yeah, you're right about that. So what does a typical client look like for you? So someone comes to you. First of all, what does that typical person look like? And then how does the process start?
So my typical client is the woman, I would say 35 and plus, that she looks good. You know, she looks good externally. People look at her, they love her, they look up to her. But when she gets home and she's in front of the mirror, she's not satisfied. Not because she's ugly, not because she's overweight or because she's unhealthy, but because she knows she can do more.
Okay.
She's not excellent in that. And she has a standard of excellence. She has excellence in her family. Of course, no, all families have their shenanigans, but
Of course.
she has excellence. She has excellence in her business. She has excellence in her finances. She might even have excellence in her emotional life, even though emotional and physical run together. But she might be like emotionally like super stable and good and peaceful, but her body's like, it's good, but it's like she knows she can do better. And that's where I get in, that I can take her to the next level with, you know, because it takes a certain level of can I say tricks, skills, and like combinations of things to really take a body that looks good to a body that looks excellent. And the vast majority of my clients, my online clients, are women like that. You know, they look good. If you see them on their events, on their business meetings, on the boardrooms, they're good. And it's not like they're carrying like 50 pounds extra of body weight, of body fat. They're maybe carrying 5 to 10 extra pounds of body fat that nobody really can see under the clothes because they dress nice. But once you like start making them excellent, is like that feeling of like, I can conquer the world. And it's in the details. Like it's something that people who are not trained or didn't study that, it's hard to get it. And also it takes a certain level of trial and error because like I said, not everything serves everybody. So if I see a woman, like I have this client in mind and she's running this multi-million-dollar business. She became a CEO and being bought by this other company. She's had another company. She's traveling between 3 cities and she has 2 baby kids and her husband's waiting at home and she manages all this type of people and she has these restrictions on her diet. And it's like, it's too much. And I'm like, okay, calm down.
Yeah.
You're even like,
right.
Yeah, like, let's see what we can do first. And also like giving them that peace of mind. It's like, you're doing great already. Like take the pressure of being perfect.
Yeah.
Like, when you're doing all those things, I actually just texted her that to her yesterday. You're doing all these million things for the next 2 weeks. You're busy. Allow yourself some grace to not be perfect. You look amazing already. So like, relax. And a lot of times just allowing them to reduce their cortisol levels between that pressure of like looking perfect and like it's already does the job.
Isn't that amazing? Most of us don't realize that, but you're right. The cortisol levels with the stress.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. How the impact that it has, and we all know like, oh, I can be too stressed, but they don't know to the level that it affects your digestion, your power of like absorbing nutrients, your part like your sleep, your regeneration, like your muscles, and how fat cells they can be broken down into like really spelled out of your body. Like stress affects all of that.
Interesting. So if someone is listening and watching and they say, you know what, I think I fit that category. I need some help. What do? They reach out to you, and what's the first step?
Reach out to me. We set up a call.
Okay.
We have a conversation, easy conversation, so I can get to know you. I always tell them it's like dating, right? When you go on a first date, like we're gonna get to know each other, like have conversations. I want to know like about your experience, what you're looking for. You have a timeline. How much are you committed to that? Because I've done like taking clients who are not committed, like and you can tell kind of like when this is a wish, not a must.
Yeah.
So I work with people who this is a must. They know like I need to. I'm already decided.
They're motivated.
Decided because I'm not a babysitter. Like if you want, I send you the meal plan. If you don't want to follow, like I'm okay. You're a grown up.
Right.
Once you have the check-in call, we're gonna talk about it. But I'm not gonna be checking you. Like, hey, did you track your meals today? Like,
macros and all
no,
that.
you're a grown ass woman.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, but like, do your due
You can say
diligence
that as well, by the way.
But that's the process. So we have a call. Once we have a call, all things move forward. I set up a profile on my coaching app. I send her a deep diving questionnaire, like she's answered, and putting some data, and that goes like very, very detailed. The time she wakes up, the time she sleeps, what does she eat, at what time, quantity, her favorite foods, her least favorite foods, any restrictions, any story, like her goals, and all those things, and her ideal day, like so I can put on the most accurate possible protocol for her. And I talk about like how you should eat your foods, because it's not just about what you eat, it's how you eat it. Give her some guidelines with supplements, even though that usually comes further along. I don't like to put a lot of supplements right away,
Right.
because I think you need to start slowly, like adding layers rather than putting all together. So
Sure.
also because it can be overwhelming. And I start teaching them, like this is what a flexible diet would look like. This is what macros, protein, carbs. This has more carbs. This has less fat. This has more protein. Let's see, figure out a way if you can add some protein, like first thing in the day, and make sure that it has a positive impact on you. Regulate your hormones first thing in the morning. Just make sure your body understands, like, we're safe.
Right.
We can do muscle protein synthesis right now and burn some fat. We're not in a starvation state anymore. We're not in a stress mode. We're not in a survival mode anymore.
Yeah, there's always been that stigma with women when it comes to weightlifting, right? I'm sure you've heard this a million times, and I'm curious if it still exists, but women not wanting to lift weights because they're afraid they're going to get too big and too bulky and have too much muscle. Do you still hear that a lot?
Oh my good. I heard today at the elevator in my house. I taught some clients in the morning. I went back home to shower, change, get my suitcase, and I was in the elevator. I wish my neighbor would see that, because he goes to the gym too.
Okay.
I'm going to send him the link.
All right.
He said, and he's an older gentleman. Not older. He's probably like in his 60s, I guess. And he's fit, but he's European. He's like more like slim and he doesn't like a lot of muscles. And I get, like, I respect. I don't want anybody to put muscles they don't want to. It's my preference. But he said, "You're strong. I'm scared of you." And I was like, I'm harmless. And then I stepped outside. I'm like, I'm not strong. You're a little weak. And I said some other things that I shouldn't have said in my mind. I didn't say it to him, of course. But yeah, you hear those things. And like, I've been hearing that since I was probably 15 years old. So I'm okay. I just let it sweat by, because I understand. First, I don't know why, but people feel that they are entitled to state their personal preference regarding a woman's body and her face if she has muscles. I don't think anybody would say that to an obese woman, say like, "You're a little bit too big," right?
Right.
Or to somebody who's too tiny, like, "Oh, you're a little too skinny," right? But somehow when you have muscles, they think it's okay. But I just take it as ignorance and
Just smile.
just smile. And I was like, I could kick your ass.
I was waiting to see if you're going to say that. But, obviously, and, again, I'm preaching to the choir here, but building muscle is a good thing when it comes to staying lean.
Yeah,
right?
it's the best thing.
We see so many people who spend hours on the treadmill, and that's all they do, and they don't want to lift weights. And maybe you could speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a shift. Women are starting to understand that. There's some big names in the industry now leading the way into that, preaching to women like, you need muscles, like especially as you get older, muscles are going to save your health, make sure you age gracefully. You have there's a lot recent studies connecting the quantity of muscle you have with your brain power and your capacity to like not have those like deal with Alzheimer's or dementia or stuff like that. Of course, there's a lot of factors that affect it, but that's a huge predictor of it. And so there's a shift, but yes, women still, they're afraid of being bulky. They're afraid of eating protein. They're afraid of putting muscles. And it takes a lot to build muscle. Back to body types. Some women do have an easier time putting muscle, but it's not going to be anything crazy. Like, you can lift as heavy as you can. If you're going to the gym 3 times a week and you lift as heavy as you can, you're going to look amazing. You're not going to look bulky ever, unless you're doing that and having a diet that doesn't cooperate with your goals. And what I mean by that is, a lot of women, and that's why some of them are not successful in their journeys, because they have divergent actions. So they're trying to build muscle, So they're training, let's say, to build muscle, but they're eating to starve themselves. That doesn't work.
Doesn't work that
Or
way,
they're
right?
eating to build muscle, but they're playing paddle for 5 hours a day.
Right.
Rings a bell? So that doesn't work. And that's the thing, like people need to understand need to put the efforts into one direction, which everybody, 90% of people, women, should be build muscle, drop body fat, be mobile. Like don't lose your flexibility, don't lose your movements, like always be somewhat active and agile. Like don't lose your almost like your athleticism to a certain extent. Like you should be able to squat down a full squat, your knees not hurt.
Right.
You should be able to pick up something heavy, push above your head. And if you have muscles, those things are just naturally easier because muscles are what moves our limbs. Like if you don't have muscles, like we wouldn't be able to do anything. I wouldn't be able to like my hair of my head.
Right. But then you burn more calories as well.
You burn more
You and I
calories.
right now, as we're sitting
Yeah.
here, are burning more calories just, because we try to keep our body fat down and have
Yeah.
more muscle, and that's important. So treadmill is really to burn the calories, right? Or at least at the calories that you see on the screen, but
Yeah.
building muscle is to keep
Increase your metabolism. So the more muscle you have,
Yeah.
so the muscle is a live tissue.
right.
It demands energy to sustain. Like you said, just sitting here, we are burning so much
Yeah.
calories because we do have muscles. That's one thing my clients always say when we hang out and go out, or even my friends, they're like, how can you eat so much and be so lean? Like, because I have muscles.
Right.
They are costly, and that's the currency. It's energy, it's ATP, it's calories. So just having muscles to maintain them, even if I'm not contracting, demands so much energy. Fat is a dead tissue. Fat is literally an energy deposit. It costs nothing to maintain fat. So the body, you need to train your body and teach your body how to like maintain the muscle, build more of this, because this is what you want to increase your metabolism, in a way that's gonna make your whole basal metabolic rate as high as possible. So you can eat more, so you cannot be hungry all the time. So you can have like your perfect mental capacities, because the body needs calories, it needs energy in order to work. So you can be healthy and you can like live in society and not be dieting all the time or taking your meals everywhere you go. I have all these food restrictions because that also related to a poor metabolism most of the times. And teach your body how to slowly start releasing that fat cells. We need some, of course, but not to the level that most people have here in America.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for saying that. In addition to all these things that we've said that you do, you also started another company called We Lift. Yes. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Oh, We Lift is my baby. It's in a baby stage, but it's this vision that I have of helping bring women to the gym. Because, coming from Brazil, I have had a very different experience with the gym. Like I said, I went to the gym early. The gym there is full of women. We have a trainer inside on every gym that you go anywhere in Brazil, and they teach you, they help you. So it's easy, it's seamless, it's kind of part of our culture. When I moved here to America, my first shock was like, there's no teacher in the gym? Like I can do whatever I want? Like, it's so weird, it's so dangerous. Like, yeah, it's at your own risk. And, that's, of course, it was 11 years ago. My mind was so much different. But I remember that first impact, that first impression that I had. And I've understood, like, with years of dealing with women and men at the gym and seeing the dynamics and being a trainer in several different gyms, setups, different cities, not so much abroad, but this is a specific thing for America, that women are so afraid of lifting for a few reasons. I think that thing that they're afraid of being too strong is changing.
Right.
So that was going to come with more education and time. But a few things is they feel intimidated. They don't know what to do. They feel lonely because lifting weights is a lonely thing. Women are not as friendly in a gym setup as men are. Like, can you tell me how many times you've seen a woman at a squat bar asking for help for another woman?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
I've never. I've personally reached out and helped women, and they were so like, well, you're going to help me? I'm like, yeah, girl, you need help?
course.
I can see you're looking for someone to help me. Let me spot you.
Yeah.
But men do that all the time.
Sure.
You see men, like, you've never met the guy. Hey, can you spot me up here?
Yeah.
Why does that happen? I don't know. It just happens.
It's a great point. You're right. Now that you say that, I actually see that. Yeah.
Men do that all the time. Like, oh, this is your friend? No, never met the dude, but I need a spotter. So, hey.
Yeah.
And it's just that normal lingo that happens at the gym. Like, you bros do that. Us gals, we don't. But I'm changing that. And another thing, it's expensive to hire a trainer.
Sure.
I know, because especially in a place like Miami, so that limits them to not like they try to lift, but they can't. They find that barrier, and it's hard to break because you don't need a lot of money. Or you need a lot of balls, which a lot of women have, but not to that extent. Or you just need to just understand and do your own research, but that takes time. So We Lift brings that new concept of like bringing women to the gym, teaching them how to lift in a small group concept. And we have a flagship coming up probably early 2026.
Okay.
Which is going to be a completely different gym setup where they're going to be able to train together with a trainer and make sure we break that stigma. And we're going to make lifting fun because women thrive in community, men too, but women, they thrive in community. And the reason why I say that is because whenever I train my clients one-on-one is I think the biggest impact that I have on them is the conversations we have. Yes, I make their abs look amazing, their booties, their legs, everything. That's great.
Yeah.
But like I said, anybody can do that has a certain physiologic and human physiology understanding. But it's the conversations that we have, like the exchanges that we have, is how I talk to them about their personal image, and I talk to them about the objections that they have with their nutrition, or the problems that they had with their spouse that kept them up at night, and how to kind of try to let them deal with that even better. And by all means, I'm not a therapist, but I've been through stuff, and it's a beautiful space when women collaborate like that.
Sure.
And my thought was always like, what if like I can multiply that? Because if me and her are just having this amazing impact, and don't get me wrong, they help me a lot into my own life, and it's always like an exchange. They're like, "What's your weekend like? What's happening in your life?" And that's fun because that keeps you committed to going there. Because you will most likely never cancel a commitment that you had with a friend,
Right.
but you cancel a commitment you had with yourself in your mind.
Without a doubt. You're exactly right. Yeah.
And see, it's easy, and that's human. It's not just women; it's human. So if you can have anywhere from 4 to 10 women that are committed to each other, like we're doing this together every Monday at 8 a.m., they're not gonna bail. They're gonna be there, not only because they're expecting each other, not only because they want to catch up, like what happened on the weekend, like in that exchange, and they're going through that together. So that's a bond that's hard to break. So that's how I'm revolutionizing fitness for women, and it's going to be amazing.
I like that. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, one thing I've noticed, and you mentioned getting a personal trainer. I mean, I would think at a minimum, getting a personal trainer just to get started makes sense, because going to a gym for the first time is intimidating, especially if you're going to lift weights. I mean, everyone knows what a treadmill is and how to step on it, but when you see all these weights, you don't know what they do, and you walk around. And I mean, I've had that when I've gone to other gyms. You don't know where the equipment is, right? You feel a little foolish just kind of looking around to try to find it. So I think that's important. We spent a lot of time speaking about working out, right? There's the other component that no one really likes too much, but that's eating, right? And eating healthy. I guess what percentage-wise, what do you think? How do you think eating clean factors into this whole thing? And what is some of your advice for that as well?
Oh, it factors a lot, because if you think like we're working out maybe 1 hour a day, 2 hours, 3 hours of a cycle like me, but we're eating all the time. All the rest of the time of the day, we're either eating or we are around food. And that's the thing that is so hard for people who deal with eating disorders, or they're not eating enough, is because food is a part, and you must eat. So you need to be able to learn how to do that. Another thing to be said is like how bad the food industry is in America. Everybody knows that.
It's getting worse, isn't it, though? It feels like it's getting worse. Maybe it's getting better now. I don't know.
I want to think that it's getting better.
I hope so.
I think at least from the standpoint that people are more cautious now, people understand more.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the quality, if it has reached us yet. Because, you probably felt that, like, go to somewhere in Europe and you eat and drink any and everything and you feel great. Like, women, we lose weight. Guys, you probably put on, like, some muscle because you're not so stressed. And when we come back, it's the contrary.
Isn't that crazy? And I've actually experienced that myself. So you are 1,000% right on that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It happened to me last summer. I was in Europe for 3 weeks, eating and drinking like there was no tomorrow. And of course, like I eat healthy. That's just how I like to eat. I eat a lot of protein, but I like to kill it too. And I like wine and I like to party. So I was doing all those things and I lost weight and I was feeling great. And I came back here in Miami, healthy capital of America. Is it? I think it is. And working out, doing my cardio, eating my food, my protein, and I gain weight. I gained 2 pounds in a week. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
And I did it on purpose. I wanted to test, like, how is that possible? And it is because the food here, sadly, has such a like bad components to it. It doesn't mean we can't offset it. We can try to mitigate. But yeah, to your point, nutrition has a huge role. I would say more than training. Of course, training. If you just eat right and you don't train, you're going to be healthy. You're going to be lean. You're not going to develop muscle. So
Right.
it needs a combo. But if you lift heavy, but you don't eat right, you're just going to be a buff person. Like, you're probably going to develop muscles, but you're going to have that layer of inflammation and just like body fat around you that I don't know if that's beneficial or not.
Yeah. So let's while we're on the topic of macros, right?
Mm-hmm.
Protein, carbs, and fat. I think everybody's favorite macro is probably carbs. We hear about carbs quite a bit. All the fads of not having carbs or restricting it. I mean, what's your take on carbs?
I think you're gonna hate my answer, but it depends. Like I think that any nutritional guideline is gonna depend. Are you trying to build muscle? Are you trying to just keep your muscle and be lean? Are you a 30-year-old man? Are you a 50-year-old woman?
That's a smart answer.
It depends a lot. But what I would tell you is carbs are not necessary for us. They're definitely not. Our body has a way of producing the glycogen that we extract from carbs.
Right.
So it's not a necessary nutrient out of protein and fats. It's the only one you can literally stop eating and you're going to be okay. Is it optimal? I don't think so, but you're going to be okay. So what I suggest for you, for the topic here is for women, my model client is I try to play with carbs around the training, around their energy necessity, because most of them are trying to lose weight, and most of them, and the thing is with how food is set up and how nutrition and nutritional habits are set up, you don't see anybody snacking on steak. It's just like, I don't even do it. I like to snack on cookies.
Right. Okay.
If I'm being 100%. Everybody that follows me know I'm a cookie monster. I love cookies. So it's natural for us to default to carbs. Even if you try to eat like a protein bar, it has carbs.
Sure.
Most protein bars have more carbs than protein.
Yeah.
Most snacks, or even healthy snacks, they have more carbs than protein. So we're naturally overeating carbs much more than what we need. Then there's a demand. So if you're not exercising like a maniac, if you're not training, if you're not running, like training for a marathon or something, most people are overeating their carb necessity. Now, carbs are not evil. We like I said, they're not essential, but we do need them. Like they help a lot for muscle glycogen. Like they fuel our muscles, so they give us energy. It's a very interesting thing, but I would say use them wisely. Which is hard. Don't just cave into the pleasure they give you with tasting, even though I think that's most important thing is for you to have a diet that you enjoy doing it. But carbs, they have a role in our body. They have a function. So it would be wise for most people to understand, like, when does my body need that fast energy? Mm-hmm. And it's not all the time. So most people, I would say, most of my clients, I load them a little bit in carbs pre and post workout. The other meals are kind of like low carb, like 5 to 10 grams of carbs, like just maybe like reminiscent carbs from other, like let's say if you have a tablespoon of protein powder peanut butter, there's like I think 4 to 6 grams of carbs in there. I'm not giving her that for the carb content. It's just like a side benefit, let's say that.
Yes.
Way. So I think that would be like a smart general approach to carbohydrates.
Okay. Thank you for that. There's a lot of good information. we could do this for hours. I mean, this is a great conversation.
We might have to do some more episodes.
I think we might have to, actually. What is the best way for our listeners and viewers to get in touch with you if they want to reach out?
Yeah, go to Amanda Lifestyle on Instagram. Basically everywhere we go now. I've dominated everything.
You are all over Instagram, so yeah.
Am I?
You do a great job. Yeah, I say that in a positive way.
I love to hear that because when you're doing it, you don't have a perception of how it is, how people are perceiving it. But I've been getting that more and more recently, so I appreciate that because I've been putting a lot of effort to spread the message and just come out of a service standpoint. Of course, we all want to make money. I want to live a good life. Miami is expensive, but it's from service.
Just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit expensive, but it's from service. Like, because I honestly, like, it breaks my heart. Just this morning, I was training a client. She's this badass 62-year-old woman. She's been training all her life, so she's jacked. I love her, and she's my great friend. Like, I love her. You're my model. Like, I want to be like you when I grow up. And there was this girl training next to us. It's at her home gym, her building gym. And she's probably early 30s. And she was like that. I could tell that she had muscle and she was doing the right lifts, but she had that layer of inflammation. I can know it. I look and I see inflammation and body fat around her muscles. And I can tell she's training so hard, but I can spot like her training could be so much better because people are so focused on like, I just need to burn, I need to just move. No, you need to slow down most of the times. You need to do less rather than do more.
Yeah.
And there's probably so many things in her diet that she does wrong. Otherwise, she wouldn't have that layer of inflammation in her body. And it hurts my heart because I wish I could help, and I can, and I will. But it's like, if they could only like. And the thing is, like the perception of being so immediate, like they want fast results. Like, no, stop chasing the rabbit. If you commit for 6 months, like give me 6 months of your life, I would change your life forever. But so it's like, so I appreciate you saying that because I really want to spread the message. So back to your question, I digress a little bit. Amanda Lifestyle on Instagram. If you look on Facebook, Amanda Lifestyle there, TikTok, YouTube, all over. You can find me everywhere.
I love it. It's very clear you're passionate about. This is not a job for you. This is a passion.
It's a passion. It's something that I transformed my life a few years ago. Like I said, I wasn't fulfilled with what I was doing. And I said, like, where am I my happiest? And it was at the gym. Yeah. And I figured like this, obviously God put that in my heart for a reason. So I need to spread that out. And if I'm working at the gym all day, I'm happy. So it's not a work really. It's just beautiful.
I
love that.
Amanda, thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Your insight, your advice, everything was terrific. Anybody listening or watching that needs help should absolutely reach out to you. But thank you for joining me, and definitely look forward to having you back on the show.
Thank you so much. I'll be happy to come back. We have so many topics to talk about. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you.